Oh, there it is. Found it. Hello. Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear me. Yeah, I can hear my annoying voice. Yeah, so we're live.
It's not that annoying.
Oh God, I hate my voice, man. I hate listening to myself, man. Ah, it's just like chalk.
Chalk and cheese.
Ah. Ah.
The
It's okay.
stream's off to a good start.
Hold on.
So,
How about now?
welcome
You
to
should be able to
Fortean
hear me
Words.
now.
Yeah. Did you have your
Can
mic
everybody hear all three of us
Okay.
now? Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. No, I turned my computer on, and obviously, as you do, voice meter just wiped all the settings. I knew that was
Yeah, of course. All right, Boomer. All right.
Dom
Yeah,
said-
but you
Dom
know,
says-
it's been
Don't you
like
just love it? I
5
didn't really
minutes
need those
since you
settings
last
in there
used it.
anyway.
So I'm guessing voice meters a lot like Rumble, where it's like,
Yeah.
well, it's been more than 5 minutes since you've been here. Who the fuck are you then?
Please sign in again. Yeah.
It's like, well, why do I have to sign in all the fucking time? Why can't you just remember who I am, dickhead?
Just ask Copilot, Hobbit.
Yeah, just press the
You get
co-pilot
like
button
Cyrax.
on your new AI.
Are you like
I'd love
Cyrax?
to know how many people use Copilot.
Have you ever seen Cyrax when he talks to AI? He goes, "Hello, Sora AI, how are you?" And the AI goes, "Yes, I'm fine. How are you?" I think he thinks the AI actually remembers him. He's having some sort of parasocial relationship with his AI.
One day, it might do, and
For those not familiar with it, imagine, right, this third-generation sex offender paedophile who, despite himself, is still alive, even though he's got, like, festering abscesses in his skin, like lesions, and his teeth are falling out, and he's still alive, and he's going to kill everybody, but also he screams for mummy whenever somebody threatens him, including Music Biz Marty.
The most recent event was a 35-year-old man went to the mall, and it was a terrifying experience for him. It was to Cyrax. It was right up there with Scott and Amundsen. Scott versus Amundsen.
Yeah,
at the North Park.
I mean, how long is it going to be before Chris Hansen catches wind of Cyrax and
going
so
to the mall.
You went to the mall to meet a 13-year-old boy. Let me tell you something. I can't use what Cyrax would say in this thing. Let me tell you something. The Cyrax slur.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you up, Chris Hansen. And then he does this scream. He's like, I know Jinjitsu. I'm a ninja. Steven Seagal trained me.
Yeah.
And all the other bullshit that he says.
Didn't Kurt Russell do that film Escape from the Mall?
Escape from the Mall, yeah.
Mm.
Imagine there's this like shambling zombie-looking creature. You're in the mall and you're just trying to enjoy your afternoon at the mall. You got this shambling creature that keeps shambling up to people and going, "I need my phone charging. Can you charge my phone?" Vile critter.
What do they think? Like plugging it into people's fucking arseholes, like charges it or something? Like, what is it?
Okay. That's the other thing, right? So, you know the phrase once bitten, twice shy? Well, in this case, it's 5 times bitten, still not shy. People keep sending Cyrax suspicious USB sticks. And with the promises of, hey, if you put this into your Xbox, it'll hack it and it'll give you like free Robux or whatever other like currency he uses to groom children with. And every time he plugs it into his Xbox, it fries the damn thing because it's like an inbuilt taser or something. And he's like, oh, goddamn, the hackers killed my Xbox. And I can't use the slurs that Cyrax would say, but then he would say a bunch of slurs and not put 2 and 2 together that the damned hackers are the ones sending you the USB keys.
To be fair, they were quite crafty. They were quite crafty the last time. They sent him a wheel that did the same job.
Well, you know, this is the 5th time it's happened, and it's not as if like a wheel can, nobody could have a spiked wheel.
No, nobody. No. You know what they say? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again.
Fool me 5 times. Let me tell you something. Oh God, God. Like, look. He says this word which I really want to say.
Yeah.
The word which I gave up for Advent a few years ago.
Yeah.
And
We didn't give it up for Advent,
I was
we
just
gave it
like,
up for
look,
Lent.
I need to burst people's bubble, right? He's not interesting. He has one mood, right? No, there's 2 modes of Cyrix. One is raping children, and the second is rage, because he can't rape children.
No, he has 2. He has 2. He has the rage, and then he has smug racks. I'm the greatest person that ever interneted ever.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So he's got the rage because he's unable to diddle kids.
Yeah.
And imagine like Jimmy Savile, but with none of the charm or charisma, and that is Cyrax. And you know, they both did music, didn't they? Because I mean, Jimmy Savile did that song "Jingle Jangle Jingle." I like having sex with children and corpses. And Cyrax did the song called "Jingle Jangle Jingle." I'm gonna fuck all your 6-year-old children.
By the way, Hobbit.
No, all
Really
Rolf
nice.
Harris did was play a didgeridoo. Fuck's sake, you know.
By the way, Hobbit.
that's-
Cyrax is on the FBI's radar for credible threats against law enforcement.
So this is Cyrax, everybody. The internet's real nice, wholesome, you know, sex offender that is really wholesome and cheery. And if ever you're having a bad day, just watch some of his fucking videos because that'll cheer you up. Oh, and by the way, Rolf Harris did a song called "Tie Me Kangaroo Down Sport," and by kangaroo I mean little children in my studio.
He also did 2 little boys. I mean, it was all out there. It's obvious.
2 little boys playing with my penis. My penis is the toy that boys play with. Do.
Ah, right then. So, shall we do some content?
Right. Yeah.
This is the show.
So, yeah. So, obviously, I did loads and loads of research on this subject. So we decided to talk about...
Recap of the most fucking wanted
I just got to do a disclaimer.
Is that the show now?
I just got to do a disclaimer, right? Because I got friends and family listening to the show and like, what the hell have you been watching, Hobbit? It's like, look, unfortunately, there's some denizens of the internet which you best just not know about, and they're really unpleasant people. And unfortunately for osmosis, I have come to hear about these really unpleasant people where I'm just like, wow, my suspicions are confirmed. They're really unpleasant.
Are you not going to tell us about goings on in Hammyland?
Yeah, she's really fat and she's not getting any money for eating like a fat pig.
So she's been forced to go on a YouTube where she has to take abuse every time she goes online.
No, I was going to say it's not that she's been forced. It's just that being that she's a fat, greedy bitch, she will accept any hand that feeds her. And now she's going on this show where people say, yeah, Hammy, why did you sit on the cat and kill it? And then she gets really stroppy with the audience. Like, well, look, if you don't ban them, then I'm just going to leave. And like, yeah, but if you leave, we're not going to pay you. Oh, well, then I'm really upset and I think you should ban them.
Yeah, I'm not banning them.
Yeah.
Ad nauseum.
I hope she cries.
Oh,
I hope she gets really stroppy and cries.
Brummin says Cyrax beat Cobra JF. Oof.
What, in the Still Alive competition? Yeah.
I don't think so technically, because Cyrax is 34, 35, isn't he? And Josh was well
Cobra
into being
died at 34 last year, so
was it 34,
Cyrax is...
Oh, so those two are the same age then, are they?
He's beating him in the sense of, you know, what is the most disgusting cockroach to continue living?
I even survived falling down a 400-foot, 90-degree bank. Well, according to him, it was a 400-foot, 90-degree bank.
Which meant, in effect, it was 4.5 inches. You know,
he fell down a curb.
He survived. He survived falling from a curb onto the road.
Yeah. And he managed to get the bus home as well. A 35-year-old man got the bus home. Shocker.
Well, That makes him more competent than Andy Ditch.
Oh God! Don't. We don't need to talk about Andy Ditch.
Oh, what that lovable shit mutant, Poop Squatch.
Is that what they call him? The
Yeah.
Poop
Well, you see, he's known for walking around in the woods, and he's covered in poop. So yeah, he's the Poop Squatch.
But I'm not. I need someone to wipe my bathroom, and I know these exact laws. But I'm stupid. I can't walk. I can't walk to the police office.
He needs somebody to wipe his bum. But when they get somebody like Harvey to wipe his bum, he's like, no, I need a fit bird to wipe my bum, not this hideous ogre. It's like, I'm sorry, but retards like you can't be choosers, Andy Ditch.
I like it when I like it when Andy Ditch goes, but I'm not able to walk to the police station because I'm not mentally well. And the copper goes,
Come
yeah,
on,
well, it's
Zippy.
the only way you got to do it. But I've checked out police codes, this and this, and this police code and this police code, and that I know. It's like, yeah, you kind of blown it by showing that you can access. You know exactly what police codes.
I'm a retard, but let me tell you the exact citation where you are legally required to wipe my bum.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you've just kind of blown it there. You dumbo.
You know who should be his personal attendant? And
Hammy.
I think they get on like a house on fire. No, because she's a fat lazy bitch who can't wipe her own ass, yet alone anybody else's. No, what should happen, right, is we should get Smoking Essie to be his personal bum wipe. And you could just ask him questions about farts and poop and masturbating and sniffing girls' farts and burps. And do burps turn you on? And oh, what's the other gross things that he says?
I don't know.
Do you ever get turned on by BO? Do you get turned on by bad smells?
Farts, yeah.
What's the longest time you've been without a bath? You know, have you been like not had a bath in like 3 weeks?
Sexually obsessed little mutant, isn't he, old Smoking Essie?
He is just a disgusting, greasy turd, and there needs to be like some group home with Andy Ditch. And,
they need to be like the Big Brother house with all the mutants in it,
and Smoking Essie as well. Well, I think they tried to do that with Fish Tank, and they tried to get Cobra on it, but unfortunately, Cobra was like, I'll possibly consider doing that sometime in the future, maybe if the wind dies down, possibly in the future, maybe sometime. In the near distant future, I'll think about considering it.
Anyway, rather than internet mutants, which really is a paranormal subject, how some of them are still alive, should we talk about...
It's the paranormal subject of these creatures. Now, this is the true cryptozoology. I mean, Ian claims to be a cryptozoological expert, but I've never heard him talk once about Chris Chan or Andy Ditch or Cyrax.
Cyrax definitely needs some study.
Yeah. I mean, Cyrax, is he even human? Because as far as I'm concerned, you know that story of the troll who lives under the bridge and rapes children? That's Cyrax.
No, eats goats.
Yeah, Eats Goats is the Disney version, but we know the true meaning of it here.
Oh, okay. Then.
You know, I've read the Brothers Grimm story. It's like, let me tell you about the troll that lives under the bridge and rapes children. Like, oh, thank you, Brothers Grimm. Please tell me more about
that word. YouTube really doesn't like that word.
Yes. They don't like this. Are we going to be demonetized?
I'm not so worried about that. It's just like literally no one will be allowed to watch. Even if people are looking for the channel, it would just be declared invisible.
Welcome to the first Fortean Words episode of this year.
Hobbit has obviously forgot between the 2 years. Cobra Commander was too busy being a cartoon in the 80s. That's not quite the Cobra we're talking about.
No. We're talking about somebody who was too angry to live.
Yeah.
Too
stupid to live, some people might say.
Well, yeah, that he was too stubborn to brush his teeth, which was a pretty stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, oh well, I'm going to die of a tooth abscess because I'm an idiot. Yeah, well done, Cobra.
Brushing your teeth is for losers.
Speaking of which, I ought to brush my teeth tonight as well.
Yeah.
Don't want to go down in any abscesses.
Well, you know, I'm thinking to myself, like, maybe I can afford to brush my teeth more than once a day.
Yeah.
Right, so should we talk
Oh,
about
no.
Operation Gateway then, shall we? We've had a bit of a CIA thread running through recently, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
Number
Sure
one
have.
fans.
I just absolutely love like the wacky shit that the CIA do. They do like the sensible stuff, like trying to murder dictators and trying to subvert the course of elections and stuff like that. But I like it when they do the wacky stuff. So
Regime change in South America every weekend, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the normal run of the day. That's the bread and butter CIA jobs. But you also get the wacky CIA.
Yeah.
I wonder if do they just keep them in, like, do they have like the clown CIA agency? They just keep them all in one place. People like
you got your
Cyrax,
normal CIA.
people like Cyrax and Cobra. They're like the Special Intelligence Agency.
Special.
And then you've got your wackadoo CIA, where it's just like, hey, what if we train people to, like, you know, do some, what's it called? What if we train them to telekinetically stop people's hearts from a distance using astral projection?
What if we get Speds to shoot pop stars?
What if we got them to, like, you know, look at these places on the moon and on Mars and tell them to look at millions of years ago?
What if we take Uri Geller seriously and give him money?
I mean, some of the stuff the CIA spent money on, but the weird thing is like they do this stuff and then they get some interesting results where you just go, huh, what's that all about? Because I think we've probably said it in the previous episode where they were doing some not astral projection. That's where you move out your body. They did some remote viewing. And they asked their remote
viewing is astral projection, isn't it? Or is it different?
No. That's different. Astral projection is you going to that place, like via like your conscious. Well,
astral projection is you move your consciousness out the body.
Yeah.
A remote viewing is where you view view something that's in a remote location.
By moving your consciousness, your body.
So, kind of, yeah. That's I was like, wait, hold on.
Well,
hold on a minute. It is the same thing.
It's just a way to get $2,000. Is this like Somali daycare fraud? We just do the same thing but with different wording.
No, this is actually a good question, right? Because does your consciousness need to be somewhere in order to observe something? Like, here's an example, right? If I look at like a camera feed of somewhere,
I just thought it went without saying that the astral projection was used in remote viewing.
Well, you see, this is why I think they're two separate things, because
no, because normally it's
what does the audience think?
Like your soul goes somewhere, doesn't it? It's like a different like.
Okay, right. Here's a question, right? Let's say. Okay, so my consciousness at the moment is in my little hobbit hole in my location of the Shire.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty familiar with it. I know, you know, like the rooms in my house and what have you.
Yeah.
But let's say, for example, right, I'm imagining the Fortean Towers studio, the headquarters, and I'm picturing like the studio there, and I'm picturing Patrick Bateman, the dog. Now my consciousness has been transferred millions of miles away to where Hemi lives.
Yeah.
And so have I just astral projected because now my consciousness is in a remote location that's not the hobbit hole?
Or are you remote viewing?
Well, I'm not remote viewing because I'm using my memory and my imagination to picture the scene of the studio. Because if I was remote viewing, and let's say Hemi was holding up a card at the moment, I could say, well, it's the Three of Hearts.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then Hemi would go, but I'm not even holding up cards. And you see,
Yeah.
well, what we could just say then is like, well, I've just made it up. It's not real. I'm not actually remote. What I'm doing is, in fact, I'm just using memory and imagination to picture the studio. And in fact, has it been redecorated since I was last there?
No.
Oh, is your desk still facing the windows?
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case, probably my imagination's quite accurate as to what it looks like. But I mean, I can't imagine how many fingers you're holding up at the moment. But the point being is my consciousness where you are?
Wait,
or
are
is
you a
it
computer,
here?
Hobbit? Are you an AI? Can you not do fingers?
So is my
What's the-
consciousness
No,
still here in the
if
Hobbit
you're
hole?
talking, then your consciousness is with your body, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, right, okay. So I'm not so sure on that. I would say my consciousness is still here in the Hobbit hole, even though I've used my mind to remote view your location.
Yeah, but Hobbit, what if you hadn't had breakfast this morning?
How would you feel?
I didn't have breakfast. I waited until late this afternoon, and I had some soup and some bread, and it was pretty good. Oh, actually, no, wait. I did have breakfast. I had a cup of coffee and 2 croissants. It was really nice. Yeah.
Hobbit reverting to the mean.
See, I remote viewed into the past where I did have breakfast.
Hobbit, second generation immigrant reverting to the mean, eating croissants.
What can I say? You know,
So much for integration, Hobbit.
Yeah, so much for
Hey.
integration.
Speaking of integration and stuff like that, I had this dream, right, where I was. Now, two things happened in the dream. It was in the 1920s, so I was in Germany and I was talking to some Austrian. I was advising on some strategic matters.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, look, I can't spend too long here in Germany. Because for a start, I don't speak German.
Austria.
And second, they'll be waiting for me. So I'm in Calais and I'm boarding a P&O ship. But this is 1920s, right?
There are other cruise ships available. You're supposed to say that, aren't you, if you do a radio show?
Yeah, well, other ferry operators are available, especially in 1920s Europe. And but for some reason, it wasn't like a 1920s steamship. It was a 15th century sail ship, and I was getting my bags from the back. And that was the other thing. Because it was a long
You're on
journey.
a galley, you fucking hell.
Yeah. I was talking to the people on the galley, and I was saying to them, like, it was a long journey, and they knew I wasn't a
Did
Belgian.
you pop down and
so they're
thank
saying,
the rowers
your
afterwards on your way out?
They said your accent's a bit unusual, and I said, "Oh, well, I'm Belgian." And they said, "Yeah, but your clothes, they're modern." And it's like, what do you mean by modern? It's like, I've never seen anybody close to that. It's like, you got me. I'm actually a time traveler. Look, I've gone back in time to talk to somebody. It doesn't matter who I come back in time to talk to. Well, I've just advised him on, some strategic maneuvers and said he should capture the Romanian oil fields and stay there and not advance into Stalingrad. Anyway, long story short, I got talking to them about electronics, and then whilst I was offloading my cargo for some reason, the galleon had a boot like a car. So, like, the captain, he's there.
Roll off galleon was.
Yeah, he's opening up the back of this galleon, and he's showing me the various electronics. And I was saying to him, look, what you got there is something called an integrated circuit. That won't be around for another 40 years yet. And he said, okay, you say what it's for? I was like, well, if I was to hazard a guess, I'd say that it's an amplifier. Oh, like for a wireless set.
Even your dreams are autistic. You know that, right?
So here's the thing. My autism is augmented.
Your autism just doesn't have a day off, does it? I bet.
Yeah.
Look, even when I sleep, I'm still autistic, right? You just don't turn it off, okay?
The most autistic dream. And then here's all those mundanes, fucking,
Fucking hell, Dom's remote viewing. Dom's remote viewing me. He says, Hemmy's holding up Mr. Bun the Baker card. His wallpaper is repeat prints of Jessica Rabbit. How did you know, Dom?
I did advise on the Jessica Rabbit wallpaper because let's face it, there used to be a time when Western
the only person that
was
actually
good.
listens to this show and doesn't just comment about whatever's at the top of their head is Dimensional Lizard, because he said remote viewing is actually viewing another place like a webcam, whereas astral projection is just dreaming by the sounds of it. It
So,
doesn't
like,
really.
did they just, like,
It
give
doesn't
up,
really
like,
sound
on
like
reviewing when they
Interdimensional has
invented, like...
understood what astral projection is.
Well, maybe astral projection is real. We're just calling it, like, watching stuff through a webcam.
That's what I'm saying. Aren't you, like, if you're viewing another place, aren't you inherently astral projecting?
Yeah. Like, maybe they invented that technology after that. So when was the camera invented?
19th century.
No, I mean, like, camera, like, video feed through a...
Oh, well, there was film camera before video cameras, and that was 1920s,
Super 8,
1910s.
Yeah, but over long distances. When did they first do that? Like, sending an image over the internet? Well,
I mean, broadcast. Broadcast they've done for ages.
Yeah, broadcast.
Like, Telegram.
Yeah,
Telegram
okay.
was technically broadcast, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe they were just trying to do it without the, equipment. I guess that's maybe they just didn't want to pay the license fee or something. I don't know.
So anyway, so in 1983, I'll call them the Special Intelligence Agency because it was the Nutter Ward of the CIA. Asked
Yeah, it's like when you. Isn't it like when you get sent, oh, you're going to do the X-Files, and you get really excited, and then you go, oh no, it's at the CIA, and you're like, oh shit.
So in 1983, the Central Intelligence Agency asked US Army Lieutenant Colonel Wayne M. McDonnell, oh Jesus Christ, does his name need to be any longer, to report on... Wayne M. McDonnell, US Army Lieutenant Colonel Wayne M. McDonnell. Jesus Christ, I bet it's when people read all that out, don't he? Why didn't you just make him say his full name as well? To report on a possible way. So this is the sensible bit.
Former name Stephen Alexienon.
Yeah. So they asked Wayne M. McDonnell to report on a possible way for people to convert the energy of their mind and body into a laser beam that can transcend space-time.
I am the laser.
Yeah.
Fire my lasers. It just reminds me of that
lasering.
You guys.
Firing my laser.
You guys are going to laugh at this, right? But there's literally like an episode of South Park called. It's the one with Terrence and Phillip and Not Without My Anus.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's it. That's the one, isn't it?
And Scott is like, Scott, what are you doing? It's like, I am wishing cancer upon you. Scott, don't do that. I'm wishing cancer on you with the power of my mind.
So basically, what you got to do is they want people to turn the energy of their mind and body into a laser beam that can transcend space-time, called the gateway process. The procedure claimed to help people access the intuitive knowledge of the universe. So, like, imagine the universe is like a CD and you're the laser. I don't know, maybe.
You're the laser.
Yeah, the universe is a CD and you're the laser. As well as travel in time and commune with other dimensional beings.
There's always other
speak?
dimensional beings ruining the fucking universe, isn't there, out there?
Yeah,
The intuitive universe.
other dimensional beings.
Communing with demons.
Yeah. McDonnell's 28-page report, declassified in 2003, outlines the gateway process's scientific underpinnings and provides instructions and technical assistance. Oh dear, it's going to be
McDonald's 28-page report on the Big Mac.
Yeah.
Only 28 pages. Like, what is it? Like a fucking...
Yeah.
It's just like some handkerchief that fucking...
Pamphlet.
has the fucking...
So, for many, hearing about this report was like finding out the CIA tested clairvoyance as a spying tool, or that the US Department of Defense secretly collected data on unidentified flying objects, even as it labelled UFO spotters as crazy. But one crucial piece of the document, page 25, was missing. The contents of that page, finally made public in 2021, reveal the report's true nature. The gateway process was originally the brainchild of radio producer Robert Monroe, who in the 1970s studied the effects of certain sound patterns on human consciousness. Is this what that? Who's that geezer that you? Who's that geezer? Isn't he from Oxford? That geezer that talks about sound and stuff.
Oh, Simon Gershwin.
I think
that's the study of psychoacoustics.
Yeah,
and it's a bit different. Psychoacoustics is like, it's not just about the study of sounds you hear, but about the sounds that you think you hear, and it's an interesting subject really, because of course a lot of hi-fi nerds are into it because they're like, well, if you're trying to reproduce the sound, but you haven't got the same chamber as like a vast cathedral, it's not going to have the same sound to it. So how do you trick people into thinking they're in a much bigger space when they're wearing headphones or something?
Oh, I thought you meant like, you know, when you're doing the hoovering, it sounds like someone shouts your name always when you're doing the hoovering.
Well, again, that's sort of psychoacoustics, because you think you heard something when you haven't heard it.
Yeah.
No, you just hoovering up the borrowers. I mean, that's it.
Help me.
That's why they're saying your name all the time. It's in pain. It's like, heavy no.
He claimed that his experiments led to out-of-body experiences through brain hemisphere synchronization, or hemisync. When
oh god, I hate when they make up their own fucking words, man.
Isn't that a bit like binaural
Having
beats?
chic, let me call it hemisync.
I think someone says, "Oh, when a person listens to binaural beats," is the next sentence of it. Created by hearing different sounds in each ear. So the Beatles were early adopters of this, weren't they? There's a lot of Beatles stuff where you can only hear it in one. They have different things coming through each ear. And the Beatles
stereo separation.
And
I think one of the best examples of that was Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast by Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
but it's not binaural beats.
No, it's a binaural beats. Like it actually will. Like,
right, so that's a good example of proper psychoacoustics. Right, so imagine you got like I'm probably got the numbers completely wrong here, but just for sake of argument, imagine you had like 50 hertz in one ear and 1,000 hertz in the other ear, and you hear like 425 hertz.
So does that only work through headphones?
You're not actually hearing 425 hertz, or because the problem is if you had them on two separate speakers, the stuff that's going in the right channel, you'd also hear it in the speaker going like across against the wall and into your other ear. So what you can do is this like combined frequency of the two of them, like I'm saying 425 hertz, that sound isn't physically being produced, but your body infers it because it's the sum of the two other frequencies you are hearing. It's like another example is like you know, tinnitus. I mean, tinnitus is like real sounds. Well, I say it's real sounds. They're real enough that they deafen me when I hear them.
Yeah.
But they're completely psychosomatic. They are not they're not produced by vibrations in the air. They're just imagined.
Look at
they're imaginary sounds.
Look at this cringe site.
Does that make sense?
I found a binaural beats site and it's got Pleiadian music. Cringe.
Oh, of course they do. And yeah, they'll be like, you know, binaural beats to realign your heart chakra, binaural beats to delay onset of orgasm, and one's to appetite suppressant, and one's to help you quit smoking. Just listen to these binaural beats.
I'm getting a link to Mongolian throat singing. So is Mongolian throat singing in a similar ballpark then, is it?
Well, no, it's a clever it's a clever singing technique where you're producing two simultaneous frequencies using your throat.
I'm trying to think. So there were no like old techno groups from the 90s that did binaural beats then.
Well, unless you specifically like the artists are specifically saying you have to listen to this with headphones.
Yeah.
You can't have the left channel going into the right ear and vice versa.
Yeah. Okay then. So does it actually matters whether you've got the headphones in the left and the right then? So you can't have the right and the left and the other way around then, no?
I mean, you can do that, but it'll just be in different channels. Yeah, there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. But the only thing is, like, if you hear like speech saying left channel, right channel, and it's coming through the wrong one, so you got them wrong, and my OCD doesn't let me do that. I've got to have the right channel being the right input.
So Spotify's got some binaural beats. No, there doesn't seem to be any like. I tried binaural beats in popular music.
Doesn't hearing binaural beats like sounds coming in different ears, like different sounds? Doesn't that like make you like, or can do make you like dizzy and?
No, the idea of listening to the binaural beats is to put you in like a trance-like state, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it can fuck with your balance and shit, right?
Hold on, dog's doing my head in. I'll be back in a sec.
Beat him hard. Just so everybody knows, Hemi's dog is special needs, and when I say beat him, I mean put him into the cage and cause him physical harm. It's what he would have wanted. Right. So you're probably thinking, oh, but Hobbit, aren't you advocating cruelty to animals? So Patrick Bateman, because that's the name of Hemi's dog, is the sort of dog where he gets onto a hedgehog, and most dogs, when they've got like hedgehog spikes in their flesh, go, oh, that hurts, I better stop biting. No, he bit harder, and the spikes like went through his jaw and into his skull. And some said that wasn't a smart thing to do then, but bits of his brain came out and he was bleeding and drooling constantly ever since then. And he's been a bit dumber ever since the time where
he lobotomized himself on a hedgehog. Is that what you're trying to say?
He decided to put a couple of hedgehog spikes into his brain, and some say that wasn't a smart thing to do back then. But good old Patrick Bateman didn't take no for an excuse.
Yeah. Obviously, his little brain, because it's quite confused, it read the spikes going into his mouth as let's have a go. Let's tromp harder.
It's like, no, I like this pain. I'm going to keep going.
I think I'm legally obligated to say at this point, no animals were harmed in the making of this story.
Citation fucking needed. But yeah, I was explaining to the audience that your dog's special needs, and he needs to go into the tard cage.
Yeah, he also has he spaz outs now as well, and he's fun. He's fun to live with.
Yeah, because he's got brain epilepsy from like chewing on fucking spikes that were going into his eyeballs.
He was bad enough beforehand, I can't honestly say that the hedgehog spikes had anything to do with it. He was special needs before then.
Do you know, my dad was sort of saying about my old dog, it's like, oh, well, you realise, like, she was getting, like, okay, the dog was 11 years old, right? So, she seemed all right to me, she was a bit poorly, but then my missus said, like, no, take her to the vet's, putting her down, and then she got put down. I'm just like, look, Dad, yeah, I miss that dog, but at the same time, you don't want to keep a dog, like, just, what you can see. I've seen dogs, right, where you look at them, you just go like, kill me, and then, like, for whatever reason, my friends and relatives just like, oh, look, their legs are trembling because they're in constant agony. Isn't it cute? Anyway, I'm off to the vets to give him another injection of fucking steroids and methadone. It's like, can you please just have the dog put it down? Oh, no, why are you being so cruel? Your dog's 22 years old. He's shaking. He's blind. He's deaf. Just put him down. Look, just give me 2 bricks. I'll do it myself. So, what I'm basically saying is that there will come a time in your life where you'll be like, is it time to get 2 bricks and just, put him out of his misery? But, that's a conversation you got to have when it gets to that point. I'm saying just don't let him, don't like prolong the suffering when it happens.
So, right, anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Oh,
So, okay.
the
then.
consciousness energy grid. What's
So,
that all
Hemi,
about?
Now we resume our regular programming.
So, Hemisync. When a person listens to binaural beats created by hearing different sounds in each ear, each ear, not each year, the contrast confuses the brain, causing it to shift out of its normal, somewhat scattered wave pattern into a coherent pattern shared between the left and right hemispheres. He said, in other words, the sounds could sync the hemispheres of the brain into a single powerful stream of energy like a laser. Aren't there people like that who there's something wrong with their brain, therefore they don't have distinct left and right hemispheres, and it's not good, is it?
So there's an entire section of Reddit called MRI scans, and there's a surprising number of Redditors who just got like empty brain. There's nothing where the brain should be. It's just like, yeah, how am I operating? And they're like, not sure. Or some of them, they got like a thin smear of brain against the skull, but the rest of it's just empty space. And it's like they're all on Reddit and they're all voting for Democrats, and it's like, I wonder if there's some sort of correlation between strong brain damage and certain
correlation is not causation.
Spoken like somebody who's taken an MRI scan and find that where your brain should be, there's just this empty space. Oh God. Oh.
But yeah, is it like there's no? Or am I thinking about those people that are born without a link between both hemispheres or something like that? There's something.
I've seen people that like have like distinct left and right ones, and they, when they're given a piece of paper and they're asked to draw something, they'll draw two different things, kind of thing. Like,
okay.
Yeah,
I think I've heard something like that. What was his name?
Never heard of like where they're in sync. Like.
Could that be a cause of like? So
well,
the link between your two hemispheres of the brain is called the corpus callosum.
They shouldn't sync anyway because they both do different things. Like, is it your left hand is your
That's what I mean.
artistic, like like dreamy side, and your right hand is your is your logic side, isn't it?
No, that's I'm sorry, but that's hippie bollocks. That's just not true. So something I thought was a bit interesting about that though is no, and there's other things people saying, oh, you only use 10% of your brain. It's just like, yeah, I only use 10% of my index finger as well.
If you're a Redditor.
Yeah. Well, unless you're on MRI scans, in which case you're using 150% of your brain because you don't have one.
No, he's still only using 100% of his brain because even if it is a thin smearing on the fucking skull.
Yeah. It's like somehow you're able to. Not only are you able to sign up for Reddit, but you're able to form coherent sentences and upload a picture of your brain or what it's lacking there. But so you've got this thing that's between the brain called the corpus callosum.
That friend of ours from Gloucester, he had some problems syncing his brain, didn't he? It was like entirely logic driven, wasn't it? There was no there was no higher thinking going on there, was there?
I think that was just a case of severe autism. So it's but I know.
But Hobbit, he wasn't autistic because he hadn't got diagnosed.
Spoken like a true autistic. So I remember there was this thing about, and I remember it because I was looking into this Alzheimer's medication called piracetam, and it was invented in the 1960s in Belgium, and it was a case of it improves connections in the corpus callosum, which is like is the part of the brain between the two hemispheres. And I'm just wondering, is schizophrenia, because schizophrenia, there's like too much pattern matching going on.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh, yeah, they see, especially paranoid schizophrenics, they see conspiracies with around them. But is there a thing with schizophrenics where there's either a breakdown in communication or there's too much communication in the corpus callosum?
Just because you're schizophrenic, it doesn't mean there's not a conspiracy going on, does it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then unfortunately they, sort of say, but then the government man's pushing my teeth in because the government man hates me. And I just thought, this is a funny thing, because
And then they
I've
start
had
talking
numerous
about the lizards are the people really running the world, and then oh yes, and the schizophrenic.
But I've had like numerous schizophrenics to the point where it's like a schizophrenic trope now, where they're talking about like either government or family members or somebody they know comes into their house, breaks into it at night, doesn't steal anything, doesn't cause a disturbance or a noise, and then they come in and they fuck with their teeth. You know, they drill holes in them, they push them in, they like swipe away the toothpaste so like they get cavities. And I was talking to a schizophrenic once, and he's saying, "Oh yeah, my dad breaks into my house through this window here," and I was like, "Oh, come on, Wix is like literally 5 minutes down the road. Why don't we go and get some screws, and we'll screw down the handle to this window?" "Oh no, because if I do that, they'll know I'm onto them, you see, and then they'll get me sectioned." I was like, "So what if, right, we put some flour down, and then we'll have their footprints there, and we know it's definitely happening?" "Oh no, we can't do that because they'll just like hoover away the flour afterwards. They'll know. And it's like they've always got a fucking excuse, and after a while,
I know, because I think my missus spoke to the same schizophrenic, and she suggested that he just buy a Ring doorbell.
and after a while, it's just like you can't offer them any advice. They're lost in their own delusions. And the best thing you can do for them is physical violence, where you actually knock their teeth out. And now they can't go on about their teeth anymore because you've knocked them all out.
That's one way of fixing the problem.
Yeah.
Look, the best treatment for schizophrenics
No, but
is
then you'd be worried about them putting them back in, then, wouldn't they? They'd be like, "Oh, they're going to put my teeth back in."
the best treatment for schizophrenics, and I'm sure any doctor will agree with me here. So this, by the way, YouTube, this is medical advice. The best treatment for schizophrenics is to beat them repeatedly. As soon as they start talking, hit them in the face. If they keep talking, hit them in the legs. If they keep talking, give them a punch to the stomach to win them. Just keep doing it until they stop talking or moving. That's the best treatment for schizophrenics. And I think if you talk to anybody in the Wallingford or Broadmoor, they'll agree with me.
I think they'd agree.
That's what you've got to do with them. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they'd admit that themselves.
They would.
Your average schizophrenic couldn't fight, sleep, lick a stamp, or put the cat out.
And this has been like medical advice from Dr. Hobbit, MD.
Hobbit's not a real doctor, but he does play one on TV.
No,
Right, anyway.
I got my medical degree from Gujarat University, so it's just as legitimate as all the other ones.
New Delhi, yeah. Anyway, Henry, where were we?
Yeah, schizophrenics. What's that all about?
This one. McDonald's report. It's actually McDonald. It's not McDonald. McDonald's.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about the corpus callosum. Why were we talking about that?
Syncing up the two halves of the brain.
Oh, binaural beats and syncing both hemispheres together.
And then he said that was schizophrenia, maybe.
So McDonald's report for the CIA borrows heavily from Monroe's research, as well as the biomedical models of Itzhak Bentov. Do you know this guy?
Itzhak.
I've heard of that name. Why do I know that name?
He's a Czech-born Israeli-American engineer.
Oh, what is that? That's taking the piss.
Is that a Heinz 57?
I don't know. That's not even a word. That's not even a thing that makes sense. Like, I can understand a Czech Israeli American. You can't be a Czech-born Israeli American and like pick a fucking lane, mate. Jesus.
Is that somebody in Wisconsin saying that they're 80% British but also 30% Viking?
Yeah. Bentov was known for such projects as designing a remote control cardiac catheter, creating diet spaghetti, and writing.
What?
I think we need to look into Bentov. He might be the new Joseph Paxton, and writing detailed books about human consciousness. Yes,
diet spaghetti. What you do, right, is you get your spaghetti and you break the noodles in half,
And you
now
eat
it's only
half
half
of
the
it,
calories.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh no, right. You think I'm joking, yeah? But Wonder Bread literally is like.
Yeah, they
So
put
what
more
we
air
do
into
is we
it,
put
don't
twice
they?
as much air in it as normal bread, and it's got half the calories. That is Wonder Bread.
So yeah,
Step one in recipe for diet fucking diet pasta: boil water, eat your meal.
McDonnell uses various consciousness-altering methodologies, including biofeedback, transcendental meditation, hypnosis, and a style of yoga called Kundalini. I've heard of Kundalini. Kundalini gets mentioned in Mad Max, doesn't it? The original Mad Max film.
Kundalini's some Indian shit, isn't it?
It's a style of yoga, so I
chakras.
should imagine.
Yeah, the chakras.
So
shit, innit?
what's biofeedback? Like if you eat a cheeseburger and then your stomach goes, "Oh, that was a good cheeseburger."
That's
Well, I know you've
Pick
just
Rob
got biofeedback
burping
from your stomach.
after he's done a taste test.
Kundalini's like the 7th chakra, isn't it? The Kundalini is the 7th one.
Is
the
it?
one at the bottom, the spine, and the spine. Your arsehole chakra, basically. I think.
Biofeedback is the
chakra.
process of gaining greater awareness of many physiological functions, primarily using instruments that provide information on the activity of those same systems, with the goal of being able to manipulate them at will. Do you understand that? Do you understand that, Hobbit?
So mind over matter.
Something like that.
He's trying to be a telepath, is that it?
Yeah, here you go. I'll stick it in. You two can have a look and see if you can make any fucking sense of it. I think this is like staring at goats territory now, isn't it?
But they weren't staring at goats; they were staring at men and giving them heart attacks.
Yeah.
Biofeedback. That was a song by Global Consciousness.
Was it?
A diagram showing the feedback loop between person, sensor, and processor to help biofeedback training. Biofeedback is the technique of gaining greater awareness of many physiological functions of one's own body by using electronic.
Oh, they've actually, to be fair, they've actually put a glossary in the middle of it. So Kundalini Yoga dates back to ancient Vedic texts from 1000 BC. Although its exact origin is unknown per Healthline, also known as yoga of awareness, this practice is meant to activate your Kundalini energy or Shakti. Are these like jerk-off crystals? Mum,
yes.
Mum, I got the jerk off. Sa.
Yeah, it is. It's your arsehole chakra. That's the one. The Kundalini
is it?
The arsehole chakra. It says it right there. Yeah.
A spiritual energy.
Other chakras are available, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, isn't this typically Indian? The Kundalini yoga is supposed to help you shed your ego.
Well, I was saying if you get like somebody putting like a traffic cone in your arsehole, your ego gets shattered.
What about my Izzat? What about the Izzat? How does it help that? How does that
Oh,
help?
your Izzat's fine, you know. You put the snake in your arsehole. Izzat's fine. Eat the cow poo.
McDonnell packaged the document in physical science lingo to avoid any unwanted connections to the occult. He leaned on quantum mechanics sources to describe. It's like we've always said, quantum mechanics is just like it's like the fucking rug that you pull over the top of any bullshit that you've got. If you want to couch something,
it's like Flex Seal, but for mystic woo-woo shit. Oh, it's quantum.
It's like duct tape. It's scientific duct tape holding theories together.
That's why I'm using the term Flex Seal. Holding your theory. Quantum mechanics.
Oh, Flex Seal's that stuff that starts
glaring hole in
fish tanks
astrophysics
leaking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that Flex Seal? Yeah, right. Okay.
That's it's basically just giant duct tape.
Yeah.
Bam. And
bam.
the problem is gone.
Bam, and the science is gone. To describe the nature and functioning of human consciousness.
Quantum mechanics.
Yeah. Quantum mechanics.
Fucking
photons. What's the other thing? Dark matter.
Dude, all of this is fucking fake. It's just stop. No, it's not real. I can't.
By the way, I was looking into biofeedback. It basically means get a Fitbit and you'll be able to track your heart rate. It's like, yeah, but I know how to track my heart rate. I can,
Yeah,
like,
but you
you
do
know,
it with
if
the
I
power
do,
of your mind, Hobbit. You don't need a stupid Fitbit.
I don't even need the power of my mind. I
You can
literally
feel
just
it in
go,
your
oh,
in
I
your
can feel my
Kundalini
heart
chakra.
racing because I'm physically exerting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to McDonald's report, the entire human body functions as a tuned vibrational system that transfers energy in a range of between 6.8 and 7.5 hertz into the Earth's ionospheric cavity.
All right, so shortwave radio. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Which itself resonates about 7 to 7.5 hertz.
Wait,
The Schumann
hold
resonance.
on. Wait, if the Earth is a spinning ball in space, how is it a cavity?
Because you've got hollow balls.
Hollow balls.
Yeah. Don't you
what's
know
the
about hollow Earth?
ionospheric cavity, Hobbit? Is that a real thing, or is it something they just the CIA made up?
It literally is a real thing. If you and I know this from ham radio. Okay, so the ionospheric cavity is how you can send shortwave radios across the
Bouncing off
world.
the ionosphere.
They bounce up against. Yeah. The other day, 'cause, look, I've got family members into ham radio, and they're saying, "Oh, I ever listened to this Hobbit?" It's like, all right, sounds like Mexican or something. It's like, well, it's Brazilian. I was like, okay. So how are we getting stuff from Brazil over here? It's like, well, what they're doing is they found this pirate. They found this satellite, and they've pirated a signal off of it, and they're just using it to passively beam their signals. So that's how we can hear it here in the Northern Hemisphere. I thought, okay, that is pretty cool. So some Brazilian amateur radio people
Either that or
figured
the Earth,
out how
the
to.
Earth is flat. And
Except we
did.
did bouncing off the ionosphere long before satellites were invented.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But in this case, they know where the satellite is. They beam the signal at it, and it's like now we can hear shitty Brazilian pop music in the Northern Hemisphere on the bow of things.
Isn't that just the sound of an AK-47 going off in the favelas? Is that not?
Have you ever heard of La Raza music? It's the same all the time. It's do 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 do.
That's just gunfire going off in the favelas.
And then somebody's on top of it. It's going.
That's just a
taco
drug deal going down, mate.
taco burrito taco puto polo taco quesadilla. So
yeah,
that's
just the gangs of fucking the favela ordering takeout and shooting each other.
I thought it was Mexican because I'm just like, it's the same fucking music throughout Latin America.
We're not very musically inclined, is that what you're saying?
Well, no, they just like what the Brazilians do to pizza is what they also do to music.
What, put pineapple on it?
Have you never seen a Brazilian pizza? It's
no, I haven't actually.
It's far worse than just ham pineapple pizza. Like ham pineapple pizza is like.
Oh God, what am I getting myself into?
God, do you remember that YouTube video? Pineapple pen. Pineapple pen. Do you remember that?
Images.
No. But I want some pineapple now.
Traditional Brazilian pizza with chicken and cheese.
No, you're looking up stuff from your local pizza shop, okay? No, so the Brazilian pizza, right, is a conveyance to bring all food items from a convenience store, or as they call it, their what's that fucking Mexican word for it? A shop, conventillo,
7-Eleven.
So a conventillo. And then you put it in the thing, so there'll be Skittles on it. There'll be sweet corn, tuna.
Hobbit just nearly threw up. Just talking about.
He just threw up. Yeah, he just threw up.
I'm sorry. Sopa de Macaco would be on there as well. Don't look it up. I did once, and I was like, "Oh, they really eat that, do they? Wow, these people are human beings."
It's fine. I can't spell it. It's fine.
These are human beings, aren't they? It's like, oh wow, these are You're just eating little monkey brains. I thought that was just a bit
Oh.
in Temple of Doom. But no, the Brazilians like, sopa de macaco, uno delicia.
Well, they did run out of Europeans to eat, so I guess
I think I may have burnt any bridges with Brazil in the future. I don't think I'll be going there on holiday anytime soon.
Have we lost our diplomatic immunity to Brazil then?
Well, put it this way. I thought what the South Koreans did with pizzas was pretty bad until I saw Brazilian pizza.
Some scientists call this ionospheric resonance the Earth's heartbeat. Basically, this brain-body energy connects with the sounds of the Earth's ionosphere and can travel around the planet in 1/7 of a second. This is sounding pretty hippy-dippy.
Don't you mean the Schumann resonance, bro?
This is where some of the report's conclusions get dicey. In an attempt to explain the nature of the universe...
Wait, what?
Yeah, this is where it starts. This is where they get dicey. In an attempt to explain the nature of the universe into which the brain sends these signals, MacDonald blithely layers accepted physics theories on top of statements so unsubstantiated that they sound made up. Why did he just say literally made up?
No, really, no. Say it ain't so.
McDonough.
For example, energy in infinity retains its inherent capacity for consciousness in that it can receive and passively perceive holograms generated by energy in motion out in the various dimensions which make up the created universe.
I'm going to do a Norm MacDonald here. It's like, no offence, pal, but that sounds like a bunch of communist gobbledygook.
Right, so hold on a sec. I'll just put up the absolute infinity.
Oh, what is this?
The absolute infinity. Can I just have the moderate infinity?
Yeah. Can I have the less infinity?
Jeez, the absolute infinity of it, eh?
Yeah, can I get an absolute infinity for beginners? Do
you remember the Absolute Infinity of Britain podcast? Is that still going?
No, it's not. They had some issues with one of the hosts.
Has he pursued a career in like kicking you-know-who's up the old Kent Road?
No, he never got to realise that ambition.
He had to... Oh, I was going to say he went to pursue his original passion. Old Kent Road,
we're nearly at the 300th
Double
episode
Dragons.
where we have a look back at the past 100 episodes of it. I said we're nearly at the 300th episode. We like that one, don't we? Much of the gateway theory rests on what MacDonald calls the absolute energy. The absolute, an energy field that exists in all dimensions, has uniform energy throughout, and is infinite. It has no location and no momentum, and is therefore outside of space-time. It sounds like a we made it up field, doesn't it? Hemisync aspires to connect people with the absolute through a wavelength of consciousness that clicks out of space-time at certain frequencies. Clicks out of space-time at certain frequencies.
Science these days, you just make shit up.
This is old science. How old's this stuff? 1983.
97
they
it
came
is.
up with this bollock.
Yeah.
83. They came up with this bollock. The world in which this process takes place is a giant cosmic egg, which MacDonald is it like a Cadbury's cream egg, which MacDonald depicts in the document. From a white hole in the egg's nucleus, the absolute emits matter that travels around one side of the shell and exists through a black hole at the back of the nucleus. What? Is he trying to have sex with this egg or what? As MacDonald writes,
he is an Israeli-born Czechoslovakian American, so maybe I don't know.
I say we don't move anywhere else, otherwise that'll get added to the fucking list. Time begins as a measure of the cadence of this evolutionary movement as reality goes around the shell of the egg on its journey to the black hole at the far end. Are you keeping up with the class, Hobbit?
Something about
typing to like
eggs going into his black hole, and yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, why do you need a black hole in the back end of the egg? Or do I not want to know that?
He inserts the egg into his black hole, and biofeedback
is it like that bit on the Rumble stream where everyone feels sick? Is it like that bit, the black hole in the egg? I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying this is the Bronald block bit?
Yeah. He wants the Bronald block, the black egg. This activity creates an interference pattern that constitutes the universal hologram or torus. Since the torus is being simultaneously generated by matter this is absolute bollocks, in all the various phases of time, it reflects the development of the universe in the past, present and future, as it would be seen from our particular perspective in one phase of time. This torus hologram seems to be based on string theorist views about a holographic universe.
Do you know what this reminds me of?
What?
Do you remember when we were talking to that guy on Twitter about free energy or something and tachyons? And I was like, that's cool. Have you got one of these machines then that I could see? And then he just went on to like some sort of conspiracy about like the European black nobility or something and how they keep these machines suppressed. I'm like, that's very interesting, but can I see one of these machines? And he never responded to me. I was like, look, guy, I'm not saying what you're saying is untrue. I definitely do believe in the black nobility that, keeps the brother down. But can I see one of these machines that you got? That was it. We were talking to him about tachyons, and we're like, "What you got? You got a machine that manipulates tachyons? That's pretty cool. I'd like to see this machine." He's like, "No, you don't understand. The government man's pushing my teeth in.
I can only see it through a top hat.
Can't show you the tachyon machine."
Was it like I can only see it through a top hat and I'm allowed to see it? The angel Gabriel told me.
Yeah. They'll believe that. Hey, did you know he died penniless and smelly because no one would have him come into this house? They're like, "Get away from me, John Smith." And he's like, "Please, I have to tell you about how Lucifer and Jesus are brothers." It's like, "Get away from me, you smelly bum." No, you don't understand. God was just a man.
Cyrax, was he? Just whittering on about the Cyrax nation. Anyway, where were we? The torus hologram seems to be based on string theorist view. String theory's bollocks as well, isn't it? Is that bollocks?
We found the source of the problem, lads.
Cheese strings.
String theorists.
String theory.
Yeah. Seems to be based on string theorist views about a holographic universe. String theorists
everything is real, but you can't measure it.
Okay.
String theory. Yeah.
String theorists are inspired by equations showing that while objects might fall into a black hole and be forever gone, the information about those objects must be retained and is preserved in 2D form on the event horizon. When projected onto a surface, all the properties and information about the 3D object will be represented in a hologram. Likewise, all that happens with matter on one side of this egg-shaped universe is projected as a holographic experience. So have we all passed through this?
I've actually heard this before. They're talking about how these UFOs could possibly be because you know how they sort of go stationary to zipping somewhere across, and if the G-force involved are thousands, which would, as far as we know, squish any organic matter. And so one theory is that I think plasma physics goes into this, but they're saying they're just a holographic projection, bro. So of course they can zip around all over the place because you see they're not physical. They're just a hologram representation, and the projector is somewhere else. And where the somewhere else is, I don't know. And I don't think these people know, but they're just saying that
I don't know. I've only done half of this theory. You don't want all of it, do you? So I've just put up figure C. If you and Fraser would like to look at this, it's the stylized rendition of a simple torus.
This is a simple torus?
Yeah. Meanwhile, the document states that the human brain, which is a binary system like a computer, similarly projects itself as a 3D hologram.
It's literally not. I mean, you couldn't get further from the truth if you were trying.
You got to remember this was a time.
Did you know that?
When Douglas
If someone said-
Adams would say, people thought digital washings were a pretty neat idea.
Put it this way, right? If somebody says everybody knows that the brain is in fact a little homunculus inside your empty skull that's got a bunch of levers and is controlling everything, that's more believable than the brain's just a binary bunch of switches that go either on or off.
You're just a bunch of switches, bro. Right, anyway, let's carry on with this nonsense. Meanwhile, the document states that I've just done that. I know. It states the human brain, which is binary system like a computer, similarly projects itself as a 3D. So the brain projects itself as a... The document states that the human brain similarly projects itself as a 3D hologram. So your brain isn't real in your head, it's a 3D hologram. So when you get into an accident and
having a look at those...
squish your brain up, that should be absolutely fine, bro.
You see, this is the interesting thing with those MRI scans with these people where they got no brains, and yet somehow they're able to form a Reddit account, form coherent sentences, and upload the MRI scan showing that indeed their brain is gone.
Someone needs to do a sequel to that novel.
This is what you don't realise. That's all they can do. It's the same person doing it over and over again.
But what I'm saying is that the holographic projection of their brain inside their skull, or wherever the brain is supposed to be, that's enough. That's like that they can function on like something. So clearly the brain's got something to do with consciousness, because if people get brain damage, then their brain don't work so good, and they start going da. But then you got other people that have had like railway spikes through their brain, and they're just
that's a damaged brain, Hobbit, but that's not a thinly pasted brain on the.
Is Harlan Ellison going to do a?
It's not damaged though. It's still there. It's just more dense.
What I'm saying is, what about that guy who had like the railway spike through his eye socket and through his brain, and apart from having the occasional headache, was completely normal? He didn't turn into a drooling moron. He was still worked in the coal mines, but it was just like, you got this.
Is Harlan Ellison going to do a sequel to that story he did? I have no brain and I must read it.
I have no brain and I must think.
Oh dear, let's see what the chat says.
Think, Harlan, think. I think the AI in I have no mouth.
Apparently, the old Kent Road is more you know what's than you know who's. This guy on Twitter sounds based.
You know what?
Oh, okay.
Sounds like we have some science deniers. Simple tourist is a donut.
Yeah.
Donut. Yeah. So in the case of Harlan Ellison, I think that book was about a paperclip maximizer. You know about the paperclip maximizing AI?
No.
What you do is you assign it a benign function. In this case, here's my factory that makes paper clips. Can you maximize efficiency of making paper clips? And the seemingly benign command sort of goes into like, well, I will just exterminate all of mankind and turn Earth into a giant paperclip, and then I will use that to create a von Neumann machine. So then I can turn the entire galaxy into a paperclip. Yeah. And then the entire universe into paper clips, and then the universe will collapse under its own weight as I move all the paper clips into one place, thus causing the big paperclip crunch. Yeah. And it's where you give an AI, which is self-improving, you tell it to do this one task, and it ignores all other tasks. Like, can you not extract like hemoglobin, because I know that contains iron, and I know paper clips contain iron, but if you're like draining the blood from babies to make paper clips, maybe don't do that. But if you haven't programmed into the AI stuff like, yes, please don't extract blood from living human beings or cute fluffy kittens to make more paper clips, then it'll just be like, well, that's a source of iron. Why am I not paperclip maxing?
Or just telling it that there is a finite demand for paper clips. Not everything. You don't have to make everything into a paper clip.
Yeah, so the Harlan Ellison's AI, the one that has no mouth and must scream, that was a paperclip maximizing AI, and they're just like, help us win against the communists in this Cold War. It's like, all right, I'll exterminate all of mankind except for these 5 like survivors. And one of them's a gorilla who's gay, and I'm going to give him a massive penis, but I'm going to make him physiologically conditioned. He can only have an erection when he's around women, but the erection will cause him pain. I look, for anybody that hasn't played I Have No Mouth and Must Scream, I would recommend you don't. But if you're curious, it's like, I reckon it was the inspiration for the Saw films, because there's a lot of psychological horror in it. I'm just like, this is fucked up. Hannah Lennison, you have a lot to answer for.
I think the difference between the game and the book is I think you can win the game, whereas you can't win the book. Because don't they come up with plans and plan to defeat the computer? But the computer defeats that plan, doesn't it?
Well, they say there's a good ending to the game, but there's not really a good ending to the game. There's like an ending which is, it's like, look, in this ending, the dog shit sandwich was really thin, and you only got 1 severe bout of dysentery when you ate it, and you didn't die from eating it, but you still ate a dog shit sandwich.
Yeah.
And I think the game, what it reminds me of is, you remember that movie called War Games, where it's like the only winning move is not to play?
Yeah.
I think it's a lot like that film. The only winning move is just to uninstall it from your system.
Yeah. That's how you win. You win it. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Yeah, I saw someone do an internet dissertation on it the other week.
Yeah, I saw Civvy 11 play it, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm glad I never continued with this.
Anyway, where were we? So the out-of-body state involves a projection of major portion of the energy pattern that represents human consciousness, so that it may move either freely throughout the terrestrial sphere for purposes of information acquisition, or into other dimensions outside of time-space, perhaps to oh, God, this is so made up, with other forms of consciousness. Consciousness is the organising and sustaining principle that provides the impetus and guidance to bring and keep energy in motion within a given set of parameters so that a specific reality will result. When the consciousness reaches a state of sophistication which it can perceive itself, its own hologram, it reaches a point of self-cognition.
Do you know this sort of bullshit terminology and bamboozle stuff? Yeah. This sort of reminds me of 2006 era Red Ice Radio.
Is this before or after Lana Lockteff joined and ruined it?
It's before. Yeah, I think Lana was 2014 or 13 or something like that, and she was just like, "Hey, come meet my cool buddies on Stormfront forums." So like, oh, okay, so we're not going to do the hippie esoteric stuff anymore then.
Yeah.
No, that's right. And I'm just going to talk about Kratom. And oh my God, like, I never want to hear a junkie speak for as long as I live, because it's like every single like sentence she was saying back then. I don't know if it's still the case, but back then it was like she was constantly drooling. She had like Cyrax mouth. Like every single word, you could just hear the saliva dribbling down a fucking chin. Fuck me, Lana. The kratom is not, or as you called it, kratom. Kratom is not fucking panacea. It's fucking gas station heroin is what it is. Let's take some kratom pills and get fucked up.
So if you never watched Red Ice Radio, now you know why not to. I
don't think Lana's going to invite me on their show for some reason. Radio 314.
I don't think you're getting that invite back on there, are you?
No.
God,
sorry, Lana. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm breathing out loudly in exasperation, just having to dive back into this bullshit. In other words,
guys, Hobbit said mean things about Lana. Look, Lana, I know you've never spoken to me and never will in my life, but there's this guy called Hobbit, and he said mean things about you on the internet. He said you were a junkie. Anyway, what about this biofeedback here so much about? Okay, Lana, interview me, please. Bye.
What are you talking? What are you
I
doing?
don't know. I think Lana
I
upset him. I think she refused.
I just remembered somebody who would
Just
slide
think
into.
about-
I think Hobbit
um,
requested Bob's and Vagina and didn't get them. I think.
Oh,
I was just harkening back to this time somebody slid into Laura Towler's DMs and says,
Yeah, I know what you would do with that.
Laura, they're saying mean things about you on the internet. Look at this
I know
picture
you
of you with
despise
your
me.
tits out."
I know you despise me, Laura, but they're saying mean things about you in the group.
I know you called me a literal hoe, but look, here's a picture of you with your tits out that's been badly photoshopped. Look at this picture of you taking your shit on the table. Isn't that disgusting? Laura, who are we talking about now? I don't know.
Somebody.
So anyway, this biofeedback sounds really interesting. Tell
Oh
me
god,
more,
it's so
Ellie.
fucking interesting. But Hobbit, you say, why can't I
Yes.
know? Why don't I know about this? A small percentage of people can successfully use Hemisync to slip the bounds of their own bodies and space-time and check out other dimensions and consciousness. Per the report, though, like meditation, it requires a lot of practice.
So you know that time where this guy did a bunch of LSD and his consciousness flew out of his body. It's like, let me write about how you
Is
can
it?
do
Is
this.
it?
and
Is
it's a
this the
serious
person who
thing.
was on an LSD that wasn't you, Hobbit, or was it someone else?
Yeah, this guy who totally wasn't me, and he did a bunch of LSD and was like, "Hey, let me tell you about the time I astral projected out of my body whilst I was on loads of LSD. It's pretty cool." And I'm going to call it biofeedback, you see, because that sounds like I've got a degree from the University of Gujarat. That's a legitimate university where I got my degree in medical science. Yeah.
It definitely is a legitimate university. You don't
Well,
get any
I mean,
more
you know,
legitimate than the University of Gujarat.
It's enough to get me my part-time band 6 job at the NHS, where I'm 90 grand a year.
As McDonald's report nears the infamous page that conspiracy theorists and CIA watchers speculated about for decades, he makes a sharp turn from spiritual ideas dressed in scientific language to explicit religious doctrine, and comparing his findings to Christian concepts, then cuts off mid-sentence, leaving a 38-year cliffhanger on page 24. But when page 24 finally surfaced in 2021, the contents weren't all that astonishing. Is this like one of those where you read all the story, you go through about 15 different pages, and then like the last page is nothing?
Do you remember like the time when I said, "Hey, how about this for a creepy story? It's called the Russian Sleep Experiment," and then we read out, and it was just like, "This is a 14-year-old's fanfic, isn't it?"
And it was. I hate those.
This is a spooky ghost story.
I hate those. I hate those creepypastas where it goes, and it was all just a dream, or was it? I just hate those ones. They're the fucking worst.
Remember, if you're thinking about having nightmares, don't.
Yeah. And the eternal thought or concept. Oh, we haven't done the shameless plug-in, Hobbit. Remember, it's a small step for us. It's a small thing for you, but a big thing for us. Blah, blah, blah. Algorithm, click, ting, all that stuff.
Look, give us the like now, right? And then when it comes to the end of the show, you can take it back. Or you can leave it with us.
Yeah. An eternal...
But give us that fucking like, cunt, or I'll call you a cunt. And that means you, person in the audience right now, going, "Oh, but I'm not actually like..." No, I know you never fucking clicked on the like button before, right? What I'm saying is, like, get to the screen right now, right? Look at that thumbs up icon. It's next to the share and save clip or what have you. And do the thumbs up on it. Just do it right now and just go, "Well, I better do that. But if I disagree..." Yeah, so later on in the episode, you know, you can take the like back, but we're borrowing it for now. Yeah. You can have it back at the end of the show, or you can keep it with us.
And the eternal thought or concept of self, which results from this self-consciousness, serves the absolute as the model. What?
It's to actually listen to smash that like button, or Hobbit will smash your fucking head in.
Yeah. He didn't put fucking in there, but he said head.
Well, the fucking was implied.
Okay then.
Like the biofeedback.
Yeah.
The biofeedback's implied.
The biofeedback. Yeah, Hobbit will fucking feedback and come and find you.
I'm not joking about this, right? But there's a band. No, it's not Global Communication. It's Nightmares on Wax, and he did a song called "Biofeedback," or maybe it was Fortet. I'm sure it's Nightmares on Wax, but I could be wrong about this. Let me just have a look because I want to look. Let me see if it
And the eternal thought or concept of self, which results from this self. It's amazing how far around the houses people will go just not to be Christian. Serves the absolute as the model round which the evolution of space-time revolves to ultimately attain a reflection of and union with him. MacDonald wrote in the Missing Pages first paragraph.
Nightmares. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. But Nightmares on Wax did release a song called Biofeedback. It's a pretty good bop, actually.
Don't you just hate it when people write like this? Let's face it. No, how about you write fucking properly instead? Let's face it. Even physicists don't know whether many of their most revered mathematical equations and theorems actually describe the universe we live in. Just as many spiritual traditions might be mistaken on the nature of consciousness. Non-scientist is one word, Hobbit.
Yeah, Hemi, I'm trying not to face this.
Non-scientists have understandably...
Non-scientists.
Yeah, are you one of these non-scientists?
Is that what Cyrex is? A non-scientist?
No, he's a yes nonce. Have understandably been frustrated by scientists.
Wait, it's a proclamation by Cyrex. Nonce, I insist.
Hobbit, how can you be a scientist or a non-scientist? And you know half of those people that declare themselves as scientists are just like normal people that have regular fucking jobs in warehouses and shit.
I would say, Rachel Carson, she's definitely a nonce scientist.
Yeah. She's a non-scientist.
Yeah. Rachel Carson, I still don't appreciate you. Yeah, Rachel Carson, go fuck yourself.
Non-scientists have understandably been frustrated by scientists claiming the exclusive right to pose inconceivable theories like multiverses.
Isn't that what the MCU got stuck on, the multiverse?
Yeah. Hold on, I've only got one paragraph left, thank God, or two. Scientists theory. Where is it? Yet physicists tend to dismiss attempts to use scientific information to explain the meaning of human existence. It's one thing to say under quantum field theory that energy fields connect everything in the universe, whereas quantum just means bollocks, doesn't it? Is that science jargon for bollocks? Quantum.
It's basically look, we can't say it's dark matter, so call it quantum.
Yeah,
that sounds sufficiently scientific. Yeah. It's like when Father Jack says that would be an ecumenical matter.
Yeah.
An ecumenical matter means this is a matter pertaining to the church.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be a quantum matter.
Yes. Quantum. It's one thing to say under quantum. I hate it when people write like that.
It's easy like for you to say.
To you. Like no one even talks like the way they're pretending to talk to you anyway. It's one thing to say under
people can write anymore. That's the problem though. They're all like dribbling retards, so they write how they think, which is to say, not really.
As in Reddit MRI. Is that how they think of it?
Yeah.
It's one thing
to
say...
this is my MRI scan. Where my brain at?
It's one thing to say under quantum field theory that energy fields connect everything in the universe, but it's something else when the concept is applied to the idea of humans communing with trees. Scientists' theories are the result of mathematical equations that can be replicated.
Why are you talking about trees now? What the fuck?
Yeah, you can replicate a mathematical equation, but how do you know it means something in the real world? That's what I've never understood about this stuff.
Yeah,
they're just saying a bunch of words. I don't think they know what these words mean. That's why it's so hard to follow, because what they're saying is just a bunch of bullshit.
Science.
I mean, at least in the previous episode when we're doing, it's like, hey, look, here's all these people making free energy devices, and here's them getting brutally murdered by the Saudis.
Or probably they're just committing suicide. Who knows?
Yes, committing suicide by like impaling each four of their limbs on a chainsaw.
Maybe people who invent free energy devices are just really, really clumsy. They're more clumsy than the average person in the street.
Yeah. Yeah, they managed to like chainsaw off like both of their arms and legs.
And then hang themselves.
Yeah. And then like disembowel all their intestines before they choke.
Oopsie,
and set themselves on fire.
Scientists theories.
So fucking clumsy. Chainsaw, salt, petrol, all near me at the same time. And this noose.
Scientists' theories are the result of mathematical equations that can be replicated. Human experience, on the other hand, can easily faked or imagined. Oh, God. Don't you just hate that? There's no point having people as witnesses because they're dumb retards that can't remember anything at all that they've ever seen, ever.
But wait, it was real in my mind.
Yeah, but a science person said, no, when you remember things, you don't remember things. You remember it completely different to how it happened.
Oh, like a mask is effective, except when it comes to smoke particles. Then it's like, oh, actually, no, it doesn't work there because you see these smoke particles, they're too small to go through it. Just ignore the fact that smoke particles are an order of magnitude larger than any microbe. Never mind.
As far as many physicists are concerned, the answer to why are we here is the same as by what process did we come into being? So a project like Gateway that marries science with the human yearning for meaning seemed awfully promising, but as it turned out, the process was not a gateway between materialistic science and experimental consciousness. It was more like an effort to write a technical manual for the ineffable. Maybe one day the CIA will figure it all out.
Yeah, well, it's too bad whoever's writing this fucking manual was a douchebag then. So, you know, there's other people that have approached this subject before. I mean, Aleister Crowley certainly did work on it, as did John Dee. And the thing is, both of those people, you consider ourselves. I mean, John Dee used to sign himself in every, like, do letters to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth I, as he'd sign himself as 007. So, you know, here's this guy in the 15th century that's a James Bond fan. It's like, oh, what's you doing time travel now? You know about this, like, it was a total, like, you know, he'd even say, oh, I have a martini, shaken, not stirred. It's like, but sire, martini's not been invented yet, and it won't be for another 300 years. And I don't know how I know this piece of esoteric trivia, but we hasn't invented cocktails yet, my lord, prithee.
Yeah.
I don't know how people in Elizabethan times sort of talks, but yeah, he would sign his letters as 007. On another thing I found interesting about John Dee, whilst we're on the subject of it, right? So John Dee, he was a magician, and he was also on the Strategic Advisory Council for I think they called it the Privy Council, and at the time, the most powerful empire.
The Privy Council.
Well, at the time, the most powerful empire in the world was the Spanish Empire.
Actually, they used to talk about it more in George III one, didn't they, than they did the actual Elizabeth one, the Privy Council.
So the Spanish Armada, right, is coming up the Bay of Biscayne. It's going to invade England, and the fact is, England's got, you know, a couple of cogs and others like sort of rusted out. But
don't you remember Zero's theory on this?
Leaky build ships. Now, just a second, because what I'm about to say probably coincides with what Zero said. Yeah. Now, John Dee, who was a magician, and he communed with spirits, and he said, well, look, because at the time the microscope.
Well, actually, it was Francis Drake. Francis Drake was apparently playing bowls, wasn't he?
So he says. He used the analogy of, as we see in the microscope, these things we call microbes, we can liken these creatures as to macrobes. And these macrobes, I'm in communication with them, and they have offered advice. So John Dee consorted with creatures which he calls macrobes, which other people will call demons, but, you know, who am I to judge? And then the Spanish Armada is defeated by winds in the English Channel, and also some daring use of suicide fire ships. And then the Spanish Armada is defeated, and then the English Empire rises to ascendancy, and the Spanish Empire just becomes irrelevance. And I think this is like, you can say it's due to the Navy, and it's also due to English excellence, but it's like, yeah, but where was the English excellence prior to the 15th century? Because, the Spanish were the most excellent race then. Now, I would say is John Dee interfering with with these demonic forces that did stuff like that, and that's some biofeedback for you.
So yeah,
See?
it was Francis Drake. So what Sir Francis Drake said was, time enough to play the game and thrash the Spaniards afterwards. Sir Francis Drake is supposed to have said when someone interrupted his game of bowls and with the news that the Spanish Armada was approaching up the channel.
Mm.
So that was Plymouth Hoe. There's the bowling green still there, and Drake. There's a 3-metre high bronze statue of Sir Francis Drake there. I suppose that hasn't been ripped down by the lefties.
So what did Zira have to say about John Dee and Elizabeth and all that stuff?
Well,
because she called him the fairy queen.
He was a bit more explicit than you were, and he said literally that. He kind of said what you said, that he thinks that John Dee did no, actually, he said Francis Drake wasn't playing bowls; he was consulting crystal balls or whatever.
Oh, and they sort of retconned it to be he was playing bowls, or
yeah.
Sort of told a lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if we did the episode together, but there was one about Queen Elizabeth being the fairy queen.
Yeah.
We've mentioned that one before, haven't we?
No, I don't think we have, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, Queen Elizabeth I, fairy queen, consorted with fairies. That's where she got her power from.
Let's have a look. Let's see what it says here. The Fairy Queen. So the Fairy Queen.
I just thought I mentioned this stuff because, well, I thought it was worth mentioning this. With John Dee signing his name as 007, and thought it'd be pertinent to our discussion about. Oh yeah, that's it. Because talking about writing manuals for the ineffable. Well, John Dee was doing that like 500 years ago. Like, it's worth, like, it's pretty hard reading it because it's all handwritten and it's in Elizabethan English, which is sort of early modern. It's not as hard to read as like stuff prior to the 1400s, where English is a very different language. But if you can read John Dee's letters, then do so. What I would really love. And the problem with it, and that's why they encourage you to read the handwriting yourself, is I would really love like some sort of OCR thing, which would just like 100%, or if it's not 100%, it'll be like, well, look, here's the 2% where I got it wrong, and you can interpret these numbers, these words
John Dee's
yourself.
In Britannica, did you know that, Hobbit?
Yeah, it would be. But it just have a thing where the OCR scans like handwritten letters and just says, here, I've translated it into printed type for you. And if there's any words I'm not sure about, I've put like the context so you can try and discern it yourself.
So I'm putting up a picture of, apparently this is John Dee at Elizabeth's court. Can't see black.
Yeah.
Isn't John Dee the immortal guy? Wasn't he meant to be immortal?
I don't know about that. What, you think he sold his soul to the devil for immortality?
Well, I thought there was something about someone called John Dee or something like. Or was that someone else? Someone in France, I think.
Oh, I don't
we had
know.
The spirit mirror. The spirit mirror used by 16th century occultist John Dee came from the Aztec Empire.
Oh, a scrying mirror. Yeah. I remember there was this guy back in the day.
Yeah, it's made of polished obsidian.
Thomas Sheridan, that's his name.
Some people have said you can do scrying with phones that are off.
So Thomas Sheridan. I'm Thomas Sheridan, don't you know? And isn't it deeply satanic that everyone's got a scrying mirror in front of them? Yeah. It's called their mobile phone. They spend all the day looking at the mobile phone, and if they just turn it off, it'd be dark, dark just like a scrying mirror. Because
Yeah.
when you look into a scrying mirror, it distorts anything you see, and it makes it demonic and dark. I'm Thomas Sheridan, I am. Oh, I hate
The
Nazis.
famous
So
Irish,
I do.
the famous
So I
Irish
do.
gobshite. That's quite unusual because
you
the
know,
Irish themselves are quite big fans of the.
Thomas Sheridan, I say, kick the Brits out, bring the blacks in. Thomas Sheridan says that.
Oh no, he hasn't.
He does.
Has he done that? Has he?
I get he's pretty like left leaning. He blocked me when I was making some. Actually, you know what? He blocked me after, right? I sent him this thing, and it wasn't jerk off crystals. It was something older than jerk off crystals. I said, "Hey, check it out! I found this witch who's selling like jade dildos, and she says they're good for like karma and healing and stuff." And his single response was Jesus, and then he blocked me.
Oh,
I thought it was pretty funny. It's like, hey, check it out.
Do you remember
a solid jade dildo?
Do you remember Gwyneth Paltrow used to sell them on her Goop site? The jade eggs to stick in your chuff.
Okay, so that it turns out that's not the first person to have thought of it. But I just imagine you just stuck one of those up your jacksie. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wellness. I think
Oh,
that's
stick
where they
this
keep all the weird dildos.
jade dildo up your ass for esoteric reasons. do you know Thomas Sheridan used to do this thing, right? And
Well, on the Goop
he was taking the
website,
piss out of the hippies too. And he'd talk about
Gwyneth Paltrow has the Viva La Vulva vibrator, but the picture is a black woman holding it on her back.
Oh dear. Oh, I see.
I
It's a neck massager, is it?
I think she's missed it by just a little bit.
Yeah. It's a neck massager.
Oh, do you want an infrared Pemph Go mat? I don't even know what one of those is. What's a Pemph Go? If I'm spending $699 on a Pemph Go mat, I need to know what one is.
Maybe it's something like an accessory for a Sibian. I don't, you know.
Oh, you can have an infrared Pemph Pro mat. That's $1,295.
I'm getting that this is all some form of sex toys, isn't it? It's just
that's
weird
what
it is.
This is wellness, so it could be any old bollocks.
So anyway, Thomas Sheridan used to do this bit. He's taking the piss out of hippies called the Nicotine Star Child, and I miss that bit. He'd also do dioramas too, where like, and I used to talk to him about like model
dioramas are
making
dying art, isn't it? Especially now we've got AI.
Well, he used to do dioramas, and I was much more interested in him talking about esoteric box.
Be like, $349, Hobbit.
I was like, look, just do some dioramas because that's interesting. And I talked to him about model making and stuff. Like, I was never good at model making, but I can appreciate people that do it. And there's got to be something to say, especially when you get a miniature and paint it. That's pretty relaxing.
That's what I quite like about. You ever seen what's that? Hereditary. You ever seen that horror film, Hobbit?
No, I don't watch horror films.
There's a lot of dioramas in that.
I watched the Final Destination series, not because it's a horror film, but because it's really funny.
It was the current one, Bloodlines, is Tony Todd's last movie. He literally died right after filming, I think.
When there's a long gap in films, I don't watch it.
Yeah, it's never quite.
It's like when they did RoboCop in, like the last one was in the last RoboCop was in like 1991, and then it's like 2011. Hey, it's RoboCop.
That was RoboCop 2, wasn't it? The last RoboCop film.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shame, really. I thought there was like plenty of potential to do more sequels after RoboCop 2, but they never did.
RoboCops.
I mean, they could have done a trilogy of RoboCops. They could have done a Saturday morning cartoon, maybe tone down the violence a little bit. Still show people's dicks getting shot off.
Having run out of battery every 2 minutes. Did you ever watch the RoboCop cartoon? Really. He used to run out of battery all the time. It was like, oh no, it's a bit it's a bit tricky.
There's
I've
only
run out
two
of battery.
RoboCop films.
It was a really bad fucking mechanic for evening the odds.
Was he just going into 1980s markets and there's like super long life alkali batteries which you can get like 10 for £1, and that's what putting
He's
into him.
going, oh, Lewis, it's a bit tricky. I'm running out of battery. Oh, no, I've run out of battery, Lewis. How are we going to get out of this situation?
Quick,
Don't worry.
Go to the supermarket. They got this special deal: £1.25 for 20 AA sales. And these ones are called Mega Long Life.
I miss Zero. He was a real character. He definitely was a real character. I would like him to come back.
Zero, come back.
Do Zero, come back.
I think the problem with Zero is the gnomes keep chasing him and they don't let up.
Yeah.
It's a shame, really, because the gnomes should just like chill out and like let him be.
I've been emailed by someone called HC. Should we go through viewer
Fortean
emails? Yeah. So yeah. HC Turk has emailed me. Let's do an advert for his great book. So he's done a book called Visions of Nirvana, which weaves a captivating tale of an 18th century witch, Elba, who in a desperate bid to save her family plunges herself into a centuries-long coma-like trance. This mystical state allows her to just transcend time, a bit like the CIA, really, reaching out to guide tormented souls yearning for redemption. From a dying American soldier in 1942 Germany who finds solace in a dreamlike realm of familial warmth and metaphysical adventures, to a young American woman in 2003 in Indonesia who embarks on an ancient journey to bring acceptance to foreigners. She comes to England.
Oh, God.
She gets Benny's in England. Alba's unseen influence guides them towards peace. Infused with humour and compassion, Visions of Nirvana is a compelling exploration of the human longing for peace amidst failure, and the joy found in aiding others to achieve the same. This magical
Visions
realism
of Nirvana
masterpiece
sounds like some hippie bullshit. If you
The magical realism masterpiece, this has got magical realism, Hobbit, offers a refreshing depth and originality for readers seeking more than what mainstream fiction provides.
Oh, yeah, well, let's face it, mainstream fiction these days is just like, I got raped by a werewolf and was made a
Hobbit,
high-paid secretary.
Stop using that word?
It's all right. We're past the 10-minute censorship mark.
Yeah,
I was taken against my will by a werewolf CEO billionaire, and now I'm a high-paid secretary. There, is that PC enough for you?
That'll do, yeah.
Yeah. Or my life at the Minotaur milking farm. Do you know what really annoys me about women's pornography? There'll be like bookshelves in supermarkets dedicated to it. You know, it's just like the families walking there and then children. It's just like, oh yeah, here's the women's pornography section.
A load of fucking shitloads. Can Rumble fucking knock it off? Sending me emails every 2 seconds. Jesus Christ, needy or what? Oh,
Rumble's like, hey, you haven't logged in for 3 minutes. We're going to sign you out.
Oh, do you want to immerse yourself in the dark academia of the Terrace Trials, a gripping queer romance and fantasy horror?
Queer. Oh, God.
Do you remember when we used to play that song? The one that had the Alex Jones lyrics in it.
Do you want to unveil the magic and intrigue in the epic fantasy book Tale of Two Brothers?
Is that a story where a woman's taken against her will by two brothers?
Tom Latham has emailed me at yes at. I'm still waiting for your reply. Thanks. Subject, yes at. I found a few errors on your website. Can I send an image? You found one big error. I don't fucking have one. That's a pretty big error, isn't it? Not having one.
We're on a political website known as the Hate Bus. Yeah.
Embark on the Orphan's Quest, the riveting journey of magic, mystery, and survival. Do you want to do that?
Oh, what? A trip through the glorious Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really nice. Cool.
Oh, Dawn Barclay's emailed me. She says, good morning. On March 25th, Level Best Books will release Vacations Can Be Murder, a true crime lover's travel guide of New England. It will be the first of a multi-volume series covering the US and beyond that is in interest those who enjoy reading about true crime, law enforcement, paranormal, and or tombstone travel. Are you into Andor Tombstone travel, Hobbit?
I certainly or interested in that.
This first volume will cover Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. So there you go. Dawn M. Barkley, Vacations Can Be Murder. She sounds pretty good.
Cool.
So someone with a Star Wars name, Abdulakim Al-Awad, has emailed me.
Oh yeah, he was my favourite of those cantina dancers.
Abdulakim Al-Awad, a passionate. It says, hi, Fortean Words. I'm Abdulakim AI Awad, Al-Awad, or whatever. A passionate storyteller who loves to explore the mystical and the unexplainable. I've penned a capital. You can tell this is not real because he's used the word penned. No one uses the word penned. No human being has ever used the word penned.
I would be so tempted to reply and back like, have you actually? Did you pick up like a physical pen and put ink to paper?
Yeah. So he's penned a captivating book that delves into 7 enchanting tales of magic, mystery, and extraordinary characters. I'm honoured to request that the book be reviewed on Fortean
took a woman
Words.
against the wall, made her a high-paid secretary.
Immerse yourself in the captivating universe of the Lazord Hand, where magic is intricately woven into the fabric. This is just like Indian. Is this like Indian Harry Potter?
Oh. Is this the bit where like the vampire magician takes the secretary against her will and makes her highly paid?
Probably.
But in exchange for like sexual favours.
Oh, this sounds like a good one. Hi, Fortean Words. I'm Moisha Lewis, a physician novelist. Moisha. Yeah.
I'm interested.
I'm interested already. Israel's my favourite country. Have you donated to Israel this week, Hobbit?
Well, I was just about to say, reply to him, let him know that Israel is I love Israel. Just tell Moisha that.
He's a physician, novelist, an expert medical legal consultant who debuted his first novel in 2025. I have a new book that that explores a dystopian world where a rejected symbiote leads to unexpected superhuman abilities in a 15-year-old
Nice try, Hamas. But I can tell you don't love Israel as much as I do. Blocked, ignored, and deleted.
Oh no, I missed that.
And that's how to deal with trolls like Moisha.
Oh, golf season's nearly here. Did you know that, Hobbit? Spring is here. Get ready to golf.
A likely story from someone like a Hamas supporter like Moisha.
This is from Four Grips. Four Grips.
Yeah. Four Grips, also known as Hamas supporting Four Grips. I'll have nothing to do with them.
Do you remember that full film I got? I got sent a full film once. Do you remember that? Probably can't.
Oh yeah. Did we watch it? It was called Madame Columba. That was a good film. I was telling my dad about Madame Columba, and like the more I tried to describe it, the more confused he got. And I was like, yeah, Dad, I watched this. How confused do you think I was? He says, is this something that actually happened in Star Trek Voyager? It's like, no. So is this like Columba? It's like, no, Dad. But Kate Mulgrew really wasn't a thing.
The weird thing is, Columba. Like, they dropped it in the second series, and they just never mentioned that she was Mrs. Columbo in the second series.
Well, the funny thing is because I was telling my dad about this, and he's like, oh yeah, there was that thing with Columbo saying that he's got a wife, but you never see him in never see her in any episode. I was like, yeah, well, they decided to do a spin-off about her dad. It's Kate Mulgrew, his wife. How about
this pitch then, Hobbit? Hi, I'm Al Ramos, a storyteller who crafts tales that blur the line between reality and imagination. I've penned a thrilling novel about a teenager.
Ramos.
He's penned a thrilling novel.
Hang on. Are we just dealing with a script here? Because this sounds very similar to the other guy.
I've penned a thrilling novel about a teenager who discovers an ancient artifact that could either save humanity or doom it. I'd like to request the book be reviewed on Fortean Words.
All right. I'll give it a read.
Yeah, he ain't giving us a free one, though.
Well, if he's not giving us a review sample, then how are we supposed to read it? I mean, at least with the Brutus Diary second draft final,
Yeah.
We got to read it in entirety.
Uh,
It is send over. Tell Tori Amos to send over his review sample, and we'll give it a review.
what's this one then? I'm Mass. His name's M-A-S. That's his name, Mass. M-A-S. M.A.S. A 90s anime fanatic who's passionate about recreating the nostalgic feeling of classic anime for storytelling in my writing. I've penned a thrilling novel where a young man bargains with the god of darkness. He's another one that's penned a novel, Hobbit.
All these people penning novels, have they never heard of a typewriter?
They never heard of a word processor, even. So there you go. That's our email box. There you go. If you send us an email, we'll probably read it in a year's time.
Yeah, but it will get read.
Yeah. So that's that. Do we have any more? Do you want to do some unexplained histories?
Yeah, Free Eye Atlas, not a comet. There we go.
Okay.
That's a wrap.
Have you seen the CIA won't admit whether they got files on 3IA Atlas or not?
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. So the CIA, who previously had nothing to say about, it's like, well, we definitely don't have intelligence. We're not sharing about this thing that's not a comet.
No, they didn't. They said we're not telling you whether we've got it or not. Come on, Hobbit. Don't be all Snopes about this.
Yeah.
Do you want, officer was turned into a frog, Utah Police Department report states.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if Golden Moth's got this one. I shall ask him.
Yes.
I'll ask Golden Moth if he's got the where is it, cop block stuff in it.
I found an Officer Hanford, which apparently is a first for Coplock.
Yeah.
Which is funny, really, because, like, do you remember the body cam footage where Officer Hanford goes to arrest that character from the Concord, the hit game Concord? You know, the one with the huge, like, bush for a head.
I've never played Concord. Concord! I remember
Concord.
Concord's that game that died on his ass, isn't it? So
well,
I've just
like,
asked
one of the
Golden
characters in
body
it.
cam for the copper being turned into.
One of the no, I think I can diplomatically classify her. She was a melanated gentleman lady with a nappy-haired bush, and in real life, the very same, like the actual like actress they used for modelling on her came out of her apartment wielding a knife, stabbed Officer Hanford once, and then he drew his gun and shot her repeatedly. And I'm surprised that's not been on Cop Block. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna ask Golden Moth if he knows what I'm about.
Oh, Hobbit. Hobbit. It turns out that he hadn't been turned into a frog. So there's an AI that must transcribe the calls. So, but what happened? The Princess and the Frog was playing in the background, and it transcribed that.
Oh, okay.
So, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind therapy. Does that just mean it just puts you in a shit film with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, so they're saying that Total Recall type technology is not as far-fetched as it sounds. I thought it said motivated by the death of his lab printer, but it wasn't. It was his lab partner. Ramirez set out to explore... Go on then.
When they say Total Recall technology is not far away, do you mean Johnny Autocab or getting your ass to Mars or 2 weeks bodysuits or the bit where you can have memories of a lifetime?
Having holiday. Recall, recall, recall.
For the memories of a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing is, like, there's loads of Philip K. Dick novels which have been turned into films, but he's really bad when it comes to titles. Like, what was it? We'll remember it for you.
You know the original title of Total Recall, don't you?
Well, the book is called We'll Remember It For You Wholesale.
We can remember it for you wholesale, yeah. Is Blade Runner actually called Blade? Why is he called Blade Runner? Because he neither runs nor has a
Do
blade.
androids dream of electronic sheep?
Yeah.
And I remember that because I had this screensaver like about 10 years ago, maybe a bit more than 10 years, called Electronic Sheep. And what it was is you can use your CPU idle time to generate these random patterns. So you could have a screensaver that was always changing.
Yeah.
It was actually like proto, like, you know how people like type in the text prompt and the AI will draw you an image? It was like a prototype version of that. But instead of typing prompts, it would just like randomly generate patterns and stuff.
I actually have a Philip K. Dick anthology. So don't they read out some shit titles?
Oh, the worst one is The Pot Repairer. I read that and I was like, this is the most pointless of all the stories we've done. And the thing is, if Philip K. Dick was alive today, I think he'd agree with that himself. Because it literally, like, for those that haven't read the short story of The Pot Repairer, right, all these people are getting like kidnapped from Earth and they're being sent to this Ark ship. And they've all like figured out that they got unique skills. You know, some of them are like top surgeons and researchers. One of them was like a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, and his ability is like, well, I repair pots. And then they go to this advanced civilization where like they've got magic, which will just like, you know, you want something and it prints it for you, and everything's indestructible. And it's like, well, you know, you can magic up these pots out of existence which are indestructible, so I'm literally useless. And I don't remember how it ends. But it will probably end with, he committed unalive suicide. There we go.
The
Is
Short
that
Happy
TikTok
Life of the
enough for
Brown
you?
Oxford. That sounds like a good story, doesn't it?
Yeah, Philip K. Dick's got some brilliant titles. I tell you what, there is a pretty Fortean thing about Philip K. Dick. You know about Vadis?
I'll tell you what is weird. Have you ever read
Interdimensional-
A Scanner Darkly?
Well, just we'll circle back to that, but Philip K. Dick began to write about in his diary about this thing called Vadis or Vadim or something like that, and it stood for Vast Interdimensional Extraterrestrial Intelligence or something like that. And he was saying that he was getting ideas for these stories, which wasn't from him, but it was being beamed to him by this otherworldly entity, which he called Vadis. And it's not as its name or anything like that. It's like I said, it's vast, extra-dimensional. Let me try and get the actual like thing. Philip K. Dick, Valis. Right, Valis. Let's have a look at Valis. Oh, there's a novel called Valis. Valis, stylized as Valis, is a 1981 science fiction novel. But but it's tended to be the first book of a 3-part series. It's an acronym for Vast Active Living Intelligent System, which Dick described as his Gnostic vision of God. The novel is heavily autobiographical, drawing from Dick's unexplained religious experiences beginning in March 1974. Yeah, so he reported experiencing a pink beam of light, which he interpreted as a theophany. You tell me what that is.
A theophany?
This event inspired his extensive theological and philosophical writings, later compiled as the Exegesis.
Is he saying theophany as in like what's it, like an epiphany? Is that what he's trying to? Is that what he's trying to go for?
Well, you know what? Because it's a new word, and because I don't actually know what it means, let me like double click on it. Where is it? Right click, search Brave. In modern academic usage, theophany is used across religious traditions to describe any tangible.
Hey, we've got the real Harvey Price watching
in a form accessible to human perception.
Theophany is when a deity appears in physical form, like the burning bush. According to Interdimensional Lizard.
The narrative follows Horse-Leather Fat, an alter ego of Dick himself. Okay, called Horse-Leather Fat, who suffers from schizophrenia and is deeply involved in the quest to. It's very autobiographical. To understand the nature of reality, truth, and divinity. The story centers on Fat's investigation into the pink being, which he believes is a message from Valis, an extraterrestrial intelligence originating from the star Sirius and the Canis Majoris. Oh, okay. Maybe this is why David Icke mentioned about it, because he's very interested in the Dogon aliens.
He's interested in anything that isn't fucking useful.
Well, yes, he has said a few things which I'm interested in.
Yeah, but he does that, and then he just pulls his trousers down and shits in the punch bowl, doesn't he? Like when he's starting to be useful, and people think, "Oh, this guy knows what he's talking about," and then he goes, whips, only kidding, and then just whips his pants down and just fucking shits in the punch bowl. That's what he does.
Considering how public a figure he is, and considering how very tenuous free speech is in
fun. Like
in the Isle of Wight, I would say that David Icke is a mental patient and is definitely not worth further scrutiny by the state. So he's just a dribbling mensaler who's off of his meds. He's not a threat to you or anybody. So definitely don't lock him up for talking about shape-changing reptilians from planet Sirius. Yeah, that's it. David Icke is harmless.
Anyway, as I was talking about
with arthrosis.
You ever read A Scanner Darkly, Hobbit or Fraser?
I watched the film because Alex Jones was in it, and it's got rotoscoping, which interests me.
Spoken like a true autist.
June's rotoscoped as well, by the way. You know the glowing blue eyes in it.
I've read it and I haven't seen the film, and it's like it sounds like a modern, like considering it was written in the 60s or whatever. It sounds like it reads like a modern day procedural, doesn't it? If you just like excuse the cloaking technology bit.
Yeah, so the guy is an investigator, and he's investigating this drug because, funny enough, a lot of Philip K. Dick books, there's a lot of drugs in them.
Yeah.
And
isn't Limitless a Philip K. Dick story? There's one he did about a film,
I don't know.
Wasn't there?
He wrote like I wouldn't be surprised like half of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's interesting. Yeah, I thought that Scanner Darkly is literally like he'd read into the future. It's like it's the way they let people get away with like tons of crimes because they keep trying to get the bigger fish all the time, don't they? I can't remember. I don't think I made it to the end, so I don't know what the actual twist is. Like, who's the informant? Hobbit, can you hear me?
Yeah. You're back. Hello.
Yeah, I said, who's the informant in Scanner Darkly?
Oh, it's been so long since I've seen it. I can't remember now. I
I've
imagine it was a jilted lover.
I've got that book. It's five great novels. It's got Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch, Martian Time Slip, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, Ubik, and A Scanner Darkly. I really ought to fucking read some of the books I've got. Can you not hear me a bit?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay. Then
yeah,
I
can. I don't know what to say about Philip K. Dick anymore. I mean, I'm still annoyed about reading of all the stuff to read by Philip K. Dick. I read the fucking Pot Repairer. Fuck's sake.
I just went for all the film ones first.
Well, I thought to myself, it's like, well, look, I'm not going to read like these ones because I've already seen the films. How about I read something that hasn't been converted into a film, like Valis, and I couldn't find Valis, so instead I read the Pot Repair. I was just like, what the fuck is this shit?
What else is there? I remember reading Paycheck was quite good, but it's very similar to Total Recall the film, but Total Recall the film is nothing like Total Recall the book. A bit like the remake with Colin, what's his face in? Like, what the fuck was the point of even making that film?
I don't know.
Right, it's 9:15. We all done?
I would say
So-
so.
Good evening, everybody. Stay spooky, etc., etc.
Good night.
Stay spooky. Remember, Woodwazes are probably real.
And they rape.